Most fascinating single fact about this real story. Henry Hill was a key figure in the Lucchese crime family, but what makes his life truly captivating is that he turned informant, leading to the convictions of over 50 mobsters, including notorious figures like Paul Vario and James Burke. Goodfellas movie introduced millions of people to this incredible true story, but the real events were even more extraordinary than anything the film could portray. Today, we delve into the life of Henry Hill, a man whose journey through the shadows of organized crime reveals the stark realities of loyalty, betrayal, and the price of survival. Join us as we explore the real story behind the iconic film. Goodfellas movie, released on September 18, 1990, has been celebrated as one of the greatest crime films of all time. Directed by Martin Scorsese and based on Nicholas Pileggi's book, Wise Guy, it captured the allure and danger of the mafia lifestyle through the eyes of Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta. The film resonated with audiences not just for its gripping narrative, but also for its authentic portrayal of organized crime's gritty reality. Viewers were drawn to the film's intense storytelling, memorable characters, and unforgettable moments, such as the infamous line, "Funny How," delivered by Joe Pesci's character, Tommy DeVito. The success of the film can be attributed to its blend of dark humor, brutal violence, and a compelling story that showcased the highs and lows of a life steeped in crime. It provided a thrilling glimpse into the world of the mafia, making it a cultural phenomenon that continues to resonate with fans today. However, the real story that inspired this cinematic masterpiece is even more incredible. The life of Henry Hill offers a complex narrative filled with triumphs and tragedies, where the lines between loyalty and betrayal blur in the high-stakes world of organized crime. As we dive deeper into Hill's life, we will uncover the extraordinary realities that shaped his existence long before the film's release. Henry Hill was born on June 11, 1943, in Brooklyn, New York, to an Irish father and a Sicilian mother. Growing up in a neighborhood rife with organized crime, he was drawn to the glamour and excitement of the mafia lifestyle from a young age. By the age of 11, he was already running errands and doing small jobs for local mobsters, quickly becoming entrenched in the underworld. Hill was dyslexic, which made academic pursuits difficult for him, yet he thrived in the streets, where his charm and street smarts helped him navigate the complexities of organized crime. His affinity for the mob led him to become associated with the Lucchese crime family in 1955. Hill's rise within the organization was rapid. He became a trusted associate, involved in various criminal activities, including loan sharking, extortion, and drug trafficking. He was known for his loyalty to his crime family, particularly to Paul Vario and James Burke, two of the most powerful figures in the Lucchese family. Despite his criminal involvement, Hill managed to maintain a facade of normalcy, marrying Karen Friedman in 1965 and having 2 children. However, the life he had chosen was fraught with danger. The events that would ultimately lead to Hill's downfall began in the late 1970s. In 1978, he participated in the infamous Lufthansa heist, which was one of the largest cash thefts in American history at that time. Hill and his accomplices made off with roughly $5 million, but the heist would come back to haunt him. In 1980, he was arrested on narcotics charges, and it was during this time that he made the fateful decision to turn informant. Hill's decision to cooperate with the FBI changed everything. He testified against many of his former mafia associates, resulting in over 50 convictions, including those of Paul Vario and James Burke, who were both instrumental figures in the Lucchese crime family. His testimony shattered the code of silence that defined the mafia and paved the way for law enforcement to dismantle organized crime networks across the country. After agreeing to testify, Hill entered the Witness Protection Program, seeking to escape the very people he had once called friends. However, adjusting to a new life proved to be more challenging than he anticipated. He struggled to fit in and adapt to the mundane existence outside of the criminal life he had known for decades. By 1987, he was removed from the program due to his inability to conform to its requirements, leaving him vulnerable and exposed. Hill's life story was immortalized in Nicholas Pileggi's book, Wise Guy, published in 1985. The book provided an in-depth look into the mafia lifestyle, showcasing the allure and dangers of organized crime. Pileggi's meticulous research and Hill's candid storytelling captivated readers, leading to its adaptation into the film we know today. The film brought to life Hill's experiences showcasing the highs of his criminal exploits and the lows of his betrayal and eventual fallout. One of the most shocking revelations about Henry Hill is that he later capitalized on his notoriety. Despite his criminal past, he became a consultant for films and wrote books, including a cookbook titled The Wise Guy Cookbook, where he shared recipes intertwined with stories from his life in the mafia. He famously stated in an interview that he didn't care what his victims thought about his commercialization of his story, highlighting a level of detachment from the consequences of his actions. Another fascinating detail about Hill is his complex relationship with the Witness Protection Program. Despite being granted a new identity and the promise of safety, Hill found it increasingly difficult to adjust. He missed the excitement of his former life and struggled with feelings of isolation. His inability to adapt ultimately led to his removal from the program, forcing him to confront the reality of his decisions without the protection he had once relied upon. Finally, Hill's life was marked by a series of personal struggles, including battles with substance abuse and legal troubles following his departure from the Witness Protection Program. Despite these challenges, he remained a colorful character, known for his candidness about his past and the choices he made. In Goodfellas movie, the portrayal of the Lufthansa heist is dramatized for effect. In reality, the heist was deeply planned and executed with precision, culminating in a staggering $5 million theft. The film captures the intensity and excitement of the heist, but compresses the events for cinematic purposes. Another notable scene involves Tommy DeVito's confrontation with Henry Hill, where he famously asks him, "Funny how?" This moment was inspired by a real-life incident that Joe Pesci experienced. The tension in that scene reflects the unpredictability of mob life, highlighting the constant threat of violence that loomed over Hill and his associates. The film also emphasizes the camaraderie among mobsters, showcasing their loyalty to one another. However, the reality was often more complicated, with betrayals and shifting allegiances being common. Hill's decision to turn informant exemplifies the ultimate betrayal, which the movie portrays, but the emotional turmoil behind that decision is even more profound than what the film could convey. Goodfellas movie compressed events spanning several years into a runtime of just over 2 hours. Many real moments were left out to fit the story. The complexities of Hill's relationships, the intricacies of the mafia's operations, and the emotional struggles he faced during his transition to informant were simplified for the audience's understanding. Goodfellas movie may have taken creative liberties, but it captures the spirit of the real story. The real Henry Hill was just as fascinating, if not more so, than the screen version. After the events depicted in the film, Henry Hill's life took several unexpected turns. He struggled with his identity outside of organized crime and faced numerous challenges. He eventually moved to different locations, including California and Nebraska, as he tried to navigate life after the mafia. Hill passed away on June 12, 2022, at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy that blurred the lines between criminality and celebrity. The film left a lasting impact on popular culture, inspiring countless discussions about the mafia and the consequences of a life steeped in crime. Henry Hill's story serves as a cautionary tale about the allure of organized crime and the harsh realities that often accompany it. As we reflect on Hill's life, we are left with one lingering question: what happens to those who choose to walk away from the life they once embraced? Follow Dark Crime Decoded for more real stories behind your favorite crime series.